Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome you all in the science. In this session, we will be working on the exercise of force and pressure. So let's understand one by one question. Orally, I'm going to discuss all the answer of the question. It is very simple, very interesting. Let's understand. Give two examples of each situation in which the push or pull to change the state of motion of an object you do. So push or pull. So we can go for push, maybe pushing a box, or maybe opening of the door. It's a pushing. Pulling, drawing a water from the well, pulling, or maybe you can say lifting a bag from the ground. You can say so many examples you can give. Give two examples of the situation in which applied force causes a change in the shape of an object. So, changing the shape of the clay or making objects from clay, one of the example, or maybe stretching elastic band, right? It's changing the shape. Then we have fill in the blanks for the following statement. To draw from the well, we have to pull at the rope. I hope you understand. We have to pull it. A charged body dash an uncharged body towards it attracts and it pulls or attracts. I think attracts is a better option because pulling need contact. So remember, it's not pulling, it's attracting. Okay. To move a loaded trolley, we have to push it. To move a loaded trolley, we have to push it. Simple. North pole of a magnet dash north pole of another magnet. It repels. Because same poles repels and opposite pole attracts. So north and south is the opposite pole. It attracts, and north is same poles. It repels. Repels in sense it moves away from each other. An archer stretches her bow while taking aim to the target. She then releases the arrow, which begins to move towards the target. Based on this information, fill up the gaps in the following statement using the terms given there. The muscular, contact, and all is given, right? To stretch the bow, the archer applies a force that causes a change in its shape, of course. The force applied by archer to stretch the bow is an example of muscular force. The type of force responsible for change in the state of motion of the arrow is an example of contact force. While the arrow moved towards the target, the forces acting on it are due to gravity, of course, because gravity is acting on it, gravitation force, and of course, dash of air is that is friction of air. You can understand air provides the friction continuously to any object present in the atmosphere. Let me tell you. So, if anything is moving in the air, has got a friction of air in it or towards it. So, remember, every time any object is moving in the atmosphere, two forces compulsory acting on it. One is gravitation, and second is friction of the air. Remember this. Always remember this. Friction of air is always acting on any object if it is in the atmosphere. In the following situation, identify the agent of exerting force and the object on which it acts. State the effect of force that each case. Effect of force in says motion, change in motion, change in motion, change in direction, or change in shape. Squeezing the piece of a lemon between the fingers and extract the juice. The person who is squeezing is a agent of exerting force. Second is the object on which it is acting is nothing but lemon, and change in the shape is a effect, right? Taking out the paste from the toothpaste, it is again the person who is taking is the agent. Paste is nothing but yeah, what do you say, object, and then the change in the shape of the toothpaste is nothing but your effect of force. The load suspended from a spring while its other end is on the hook fixed on the wall. Load is suspended from a spring like this. I'll just show you. This is the hook, and here is load, here is spring, and there is some boxes connected to it. So what happens is, um, Who is applying force here? Well, the gravitation is of course applying the force to pull this down, right? Who is applying force is very clear. What is the change? Change is the load is moving downwards, right? Right now. So change in the motion. Okay. An athlete making an high jump to clear the bar at a certain height. To clear the bar. So athlete is nothing but the object. Agent. Object. The athlete to jump, it applies a force on the ground. Let me tell you, it jumps applying some force on the ground. So object is nothing but a ground, and change in the motion. Of course, the height increases, change in the motion. A blacksmith hammers the hot iron piece while making a tool. How does the force due to hammering affect the piece of iron? So, when the iron rod is heated, it becomes soft, and when it is hammered, it changes its shape. An inflated balloon was pressed against a wall after it has been pressed against a wall after it has been rubbed with a piece of synthetic cloth. So it is rubbed on the synthetic cloth. It was found that the balloon stick to the wall. Okay, what force might be responsible for attraction between the balloon and the wall? It's very clear. It is electrostatic force. Okay, which force it is? Electrostatic force. Remember the word non-contact force, electrostatic force it is. So when balloon is rubbed against a synthetic wall on the piece of a synthetic wall, it becomes charged. And as wall being non-charged or uncharged, the charged particles or charged object attracts uncharged objects. So accordingly, the balloon is attracting the wall. Name the forces acting on a plastic bucket containing water held above the ground level in your hand. Name the forces. So it is you applying the force on the plastic bucket as a muscular force, and gravitation is pulling it down is gravitation force. So two forces. Discuss why the forces acting on the bucket do not bring a change in its state of motion. There can be possibility that force is applied from both the direction. That is, you are applying the force towards upward to hold the bucket, and gravity is pulling it downward. So as we see that you are applying the equal amount of force or equal amount of force that gravitation is also applying. So that equal amount and direction is different. So you are pulling it upward and gravitation is downward. So that's the reason what happens is there is no change found in the bucket. So I repeat again, you applying or the person holding it applying the equal amount of force as gravitation is, but in the opposite direction, and that's the reason nothing is happening, no change is seen. A rocket has been fired upward launched to launch a satellite in its orbit. Name the two forces acting on the rocket immediately after leaving the launching of the pad. I told you already, okay, whenever any object is in the atmosphere, two forces are always acting. One is friction of the air, and second is gravitation. So the same answer here it is applied. 10th, maybe the last question, I hope. When we press the bulb of a dropper with its nozzle kept in the water, the air in the dropper is seen to escape from in the form of a bubbles, and once we release the pressure on the bulb, the water gets filled in the dropper again. Okay, instead of air, the water comes in. The rise of water in the dropper is due to, of course, atmospheric pressure. It is due to atmospheric pressure, not a pressure of water, not a pressure of gravitation. Of course, it is not, because it is in the opposite direction. The shape of a rubber ball बिल्कुल नहीं, 100% नहीं, any shape it might be, it will be pumped up. So it is due to atmospheric pressure. I'm sorry. uh, I just hope it is clear to everyone. And देखो कितना simple था. It's very simple, very very easy, and direct questions we have. So I don't think somewhere revision of these topics are required. But in case if you want a revision of these topics, you can open the videos again back and complete it. Okay, but basically I would say the reading of the textbook, solving the questions from the textbook, and writing it is nothing but a sort of a revision. So what I'm expecting you all to do it, all the topics that what you have, two things you have to do: read all the topics properly, note down or underline the words which you find important, and second thing is complete the exercise by writing it. Okay, just one or two sentence answers and 10 to 12 questions in each question, in each topic. Easily you can complete it. Okay, so what you can do is you can complete that today, and keep your revision track proper, so your revision is done properly, so keep that in mind. Fine. So what you can do is now, if you are not understanding, not remembering, you can watch the video again. Otherwise, tell me any topic that what you need revision, so you can comment in the video that what topic you need for revision. Okay, that topic I will specially revise, maybe today itself I will revise if you want. So thank you so much. See you. See you in the next session.